Darren Matthews.
Darren, D-A-R-E-N?
Yep, M-A-T-T-H-E-W-S.
And what's the title you'd like to hear below you?
I'm the general manager.
All right.
Okay.
So, when people come in and you have to persuade them that this is the right place for them to be, what do you tell them?
Well, I start by saying that we're one of the top 10 boat dealers in the country. And the rankings are done by a company called Boating Industry Magazine. And it's kind of difficult when you look at all of the boat dealers that are out there. You know, in January of 2008, almost half of the boat dealers in the country were wiped out by the recession. So to stay in business was difficult. And the only way I think we stayed in business, and anybody who's still standing, so to speak, was to have some great customer service and customers that were very loyal. And I think secondly, it's the product line, and I think it's the people. You know, we were down to a skeleton crew, and at the end of the day, we tended to take very good care of our customers. And when you are in the boat business, no one needs a boat. You know, we just want them. No one has to have them. They don't go up in value, they go down in value. So the only way a customer really gets his money's worth, if you will, is to have a great time on the water and make memories that, you know, they can't get anywhere else. You know, a friend of mine told me once that the whole world was discovered by boat. And I say that to people all the time. You know, the boats can do things emotionally to people that you can't find anywhere else. Story, an ad I once wrote for a paper in New York City. We were trying to get to these Wall Street brokers, and we were trying to convince them to buy boats. And we wrote this ad that said, your children will never remember you for where you bought IBM or where you sold IBM, but they will never forget the time you strolled them out into the ocean, into the clear blue, on their first boat ride. It's a very emotional thing. Singleton is a company that came around in 1987. A husband and wife and sons, 2 sons and a daughter started the company. And they started it on Lake Martin, Alabama, and it was very mom and pop, which most boat dealerships are. People don't go, big corporations don't go and run out into the boat business.
You're doing great. You're doing great. But the cord, if you touch the cord, then it makes static. So I'm going to move this. That's all right. It's my fault for not dressing it over here.
It's okay. It's okay. With all my TV, I should know that, Chenzer. You know?
It really is going well. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's okay, fine.
But I'll tell you what, before we get to where you work,
yeah,
I want you to tell the broker story again, because I don't want to stumble in the beginning of it.
Okay.
And it's such a good story that, so you would start it out by, I remember the time I wrote an ad for
yeah,
some. Okay.
Yeah.
Or let me tell you about the time that. I'll let you decide, but
okay.
Let's just do that, pick up from that point on, okay?
Okay.
And let's wait for the bell sound.
Shut that phone off! Who's faxing? Who's faxing? Yeah, just unplug it, babe. It can't be a fax coming in, babe. We're dialing. Although it sounds very boat dealership-ish.
He's trying to do a handshake with an answering machine, so that's not going to
Okay, babe.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mrs. T.
You're welcome. All right, stand by.
Okay.
Good, and we're rolling.
Years ago, I wrote an ad for a newspaper in New York City, and I was trying to lure brokers, lure them into buying boats from us on Wall Street. And I wrote an ad that said, years from now, your children will never remember you for where you bought or sold IBM stock, but they will never forget the day you steered them out into the Atlantic on their very first boat ride. Because boats are emotional. You know, there's no logical reason to buy a boat or a Ferrari or anything like that. They go one way in value, and that's the wrong way. But what you get from a boat, you really can't get anywhere else. And I've been at it my entire life, over 3 decades, and I believe it very much. I can say to this very day that my children are very excited about boat riding, and it's an emotional thing for them. And when you get out there and you steer across any body of water, a pond in a rowboat with oars, it's something you don't do every day, and it's exciting, and it's something different, and that's what we try to explain to our customers. The people that work here, we wrote a poster that I think we've got over 1,000 years of combined marine experience, and that speaks volumes, because the people, to be in it that long, they love it. They really enjoy it, and it's like people say all the time about, can you hear someone smile speaking to them on the telephone? And I think that when you talk to the people at Singleton Marine Group, you definitely hear them smile over the telephone. It's a different thing.
That was so good that I want to do one part of it again in a self-contained little segment. We'll just call this one memories, because a couple of times you sort of hit on the emotional component of it.
Right.
But we need to have a single contiguous soundbite and I think a great way to start it would be the world was discovered by water or whatever. But that was a really good line. But let's talk about why and you touched on this, but why people want boats. What do they get out of it? What emotional sort of satisfaction do they get? And just try to focus on the memories and the kids and the whole thing, and see if you can do that one for me in just one thing.
Okay.
Okay. So tell me again about the emotional appeal of boats.
Well, there's no logical reason to buy a boat. It's illogical. Buying a Ferrari is illogical. It's emotional. When people come in and they start to talk about a boat or they start to think about a boat, it's something that is strictly based on an emotional purchase. Boats go one way in value. You don't make, no one, the only one making money here is me. And so it has to be based on emotion. And when families get together, it's increasingly hard for families to go out and find a place where they can go and be together. And owning a boat and steering out onto any body of water is something that we simply don't do every day. We have customers that have never owned a boat. They've certainly got the wherewithal to buy whatever they want, but they think that owning a boat is such a difficult thing to do. So their emotions have to outweigh their logic, and they have to balance that out. And when that happens and they get out there for the very first time, or you put your 11-year-old behind the wheel of a boat, it's something that parents never forget, because they're providing something that they just cannot get anywhere else. Our company is built on that premise. We are emotional about boating. We are emotional about those initials, SMG. Last year at the Atlanta Boat Show, we all wore black shirts. And as I was giving training and talking and sort of trying to get everybody motivated when the day was starting, I spoke emotionally about the black shirts and what it means to be a part of this company, because what we provide to people is illogical. It's not something that they go to buy. They don't buy it. You don't drive it back and forth to work at night. You don't live in it when you get there. So at the end of the day, it's got to be something that is based strictly on emotion. And I will tell you, we get comments from people that fill us with emotions, because they tell us about their times on the water. And sometimes it's scary, storm blows over. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's painful. You're boat riding and you're too old, but you think you can still do that flip off a wakeboard. And people do that all the time, but it's something you cannot get anywhere else. There's nothing like the water, whether you're screaming across it at 50 miles an hour or you're just sitting in it at calm when the sun's going down. You just can't find that anywhere else. It's a very emotional thing.
Let's talk about experience just for another moment. How does the cumulative experience, all the experience you have here, impact the customer's experience when they come?
We wrote an ad that showed that we have over 1,000 years of combined experience in the boat business. And that really speaks to two different things. First, the people that work here have done it a long time, so they love it. A lot of us, including Austin Singleton, who's our owner, he started as a kid in the boat business. I started at 9 years old in the boat business. So you love something. You really immensely love it. And when that happens, like smiling on the telephone. People say all the time, you smile, you can hear someone smile on the telephone. I think our customers feel that from us, because whether it's a technician or the gentlemen that are in the ship store, or the people that you're buying your boat from, or the girl that answers the phone or greets you when you walk in, they genuinely are proud to be a part of this company. And so that transcends to the customer. There are a few different places that I go. Chick-fil-A is one place where I go, where I find I have a incredibly great experience, because everybody there seems to be pretty happy and they genuinely care. The other place is Quick Trip. When I walk into Quick Trip, they tell me hello. And the only time I would ever notice it is if they didn't do it. If they don't say hello to me, I might be shocked that they weren't happy to greet me when I came in. And I think that our company really typifies that in our business, and those are the dealers that are still standing. Those are the people that are still in the boat business. And I think that's what makes us all proud to be a part of SMG.
One last little bite I want to get from you is, what do your customers what do they tell you when they come back to buy the next boat, and when they come back to you? Why do they, one second, start this back up again. This is just the cutaway camera, but it turns off after 12 minutes. Okay. So, the question was, do you hear from your customers about why they stick with you?
In our business, sales and marketing sells the first boat, and service sells the second boat. We have lots of repeat customers, and again, our customers, people think that the guy that buys the boat is a wealthy guy, and that's not true. It's the father and mother who care deeply about their family, and when they're younger, they're trying to create memories, and when they get older, they're trying to just keep their children. They're trying to keep them as close as they can. And for our customers, what we find is that no one has to have a boat. They want boats. Everybody wants one. But for us, when a customer goes out and has that experience that they cannot find anywhere else, because we all buy cars, we all buy homes, we all go and buy TVs, but buying a boat's a little bit different. Buying a boat is really that luxury item, that crazy thing that you go out and do. And I think that you would find most of our customers now that would tell you that they can't imagine not affording a boat because of what it's done for their family. You know, you've got the children that'll sit there with the controller in their hand, and you've got the children that'll be begging their father to go out. Take me fishing, take me have a catch, let's do something out there. And I think that what you find with those customers is that when boating is a joy, when it's a pleasure, they've been serviced well. They've been well taken care of. The boat is not a pain. And that makes it very easy for them to elongate their dream and keep going. And I think what else we find is we have sons and daughters that buy boats from us. We have brothers and sisters that buy boats from us. It's like any other business, but more so in our business, it's paramount that the customer says to his neighbor, wow, these guys at Singleton Marine, this group of men and women that help me with my boat, they feel like partners. One thing you'll hear from us, every customer that buys a boat from us, the first thing and the last thing they hear is welcome to our family. And we mean that. It's something that we take to heart. And when you walk in, it's not just one person that will take care of your problem, it's everybody that will take, because boats are things that can break like any other man-made piece of equipment. And the people that take care of it, the boat is only as good as the people that are servicing it. And I think that's the same with just about anything you buy.
Okay, lastly, it seems like you get a lot of personal satisfaction out of the pleasure that you bring people through this. Can you talk about that in 30 seconds?
My life has been boats, and the sacrifices that I've made regarding my business seem like nothing. I know that I'm changing lives. You know, you can sell a lot of different things. You can be in a lot of different businesses. But in my business, again, no one needs a boat. We just want them. And when you can provide an experience to someone that they cannot find anywhere else, and you're surrounded by people that share that philosophy, it's easy to come to work. And for those people that don't like to go to work or have been in a position where it's not very fun, you folks know what I'm speaking of. And at this company, the minute you hit the door and out the back or out the side, I think you get a clear understanding that we really enjoy what we do, and we really enjoy taking care of the customer, and that you will hear us smile through the phone.
Okay, great job. I think we have plenty there for our 4 little bites. We've got about 15 minutes to do so. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for coming back.
My pleasure. And I feel